Good morning, Kennedy Wilmington and other offices. How you guys doing? Great. Oh my gosh, that was super weak. Do it again. We have a special guest on today. I want to make sure that we bring the energy because this guest is has me in a number. She's a few years ahead of me and she's got more energy than this whole room. So Dianna Kokoszka is on. I don't want to embarrass herself. So good morning, Kennedy Innovate. How you guys doing?
Hey.
Dianna, you're on, right? Dianna, thumbs up if you can hear us.
Yes, I am on. Can you
All right,
hear me?
great. Good to hear you too. All right, guys, we're gonna get kicked off. Our amazing team leader, Amanda Price, is on she's on a plane right now. She's heading to Chicago with some other local leaders going to the NAR convention. And so we will be filling in for her. And the highlight of our meeting today is obviously Dianna Don. Those of you guys, and this was not an accident. This was intentional. I'm wearing my Bold shirt. Diana's got a purple shirt on there. She was the original author of Bold. She's going to be talking about the book that's coming out that I'm definitely ordering. And we're going to be talking about our next launch at Bold. So kicking off this meeting, when we kick off all meetings, let's start with a few bucket fills, good news, gratitude. Who wants to kick it off?
I can find it.
That's the right here. Who else?
I just transferred here from Florida and. This is.
Or just new to the area?
Oh.
New to the real estate?
That's here, I transferred over here.
Welcome aboard. Glad to have you.
Yes.
Glad to have you. I will go. I'm grateful for all of you guys, for our leadership team, for our staff. I take a pretty big vacation every year in July, so I'm still on vacation. Hence the short flip-flops. I came in because I didn't want to miss Dianna. But my family's been in town. Grateful for the trip. And I'm grateful that they're dispersing and leaving today because I'm like my house back. Catch up on a little sleep, but grateful for a great vacation for everybody that fills in so we can all take some amazing and needed vacations. All right, one more. Let's get one more bucket filler gratitude.
Oh, Dad, I'm glad that KBT is coming back to the market center.
Funny thing is, so KBT was actually, you guys have never been in this office, have you? You guys built your other office when we were at the old office.
When you moved out of the
Back
other
there.
office.
So you guys moved out before we did, because we were tight space. So yeah, KBT has been our top team or one of our top teams for our entire existence, and they have their own office near the airport. And we're super excited for their energy and the synergy of getting them back in here. So we're pretty pumped. So
And we're adding another talk to the next, so.
and another dog. All right, so you're gonna go into all that. All right, so Dianna Kokoszka is a mentor of mine. She is the original author of Bold. She goes back in real estate. She is one of the most powerful women leaders in the history of business, not just real estate. Definitely one of the top few women in real estate. She's a legend in real estate. Got incredible energy. She was very big and she built MAPS coaching. She's the original author of Bold, which we're launching soon. I think I've taken Bold about 15, 16 times. Definitely credit Dianna with a lot of the mindset and a lot of the systems and everything that helped me in my real estate career and just my mindset and my life. So with that, so Amanda and Logan and our crew was down in Austin recently. I didn't get to go. I didn't go on that trip, and I'm jealous because they actually had dinner with Dianna. Dianna's married to Tony DeSilla, who's another legend in the real estate industry, and they had dinner with Dianna and Tony, talked about the book, and so Amanda linked this up. So Dianna, I'm gonna pass the mic over to you, introduce yourselves, and tell us about the book. And you've got the floor for however long you want.
Well, Lad, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And yes, you're right. They did come to dinner at the house. In fact, Amanda brought dinner because I was running. I'd just gotten back in town. I had appointment after appointment. I said, you may even beat me to my home, right? I got here about 5 minutes before they arrived. It was so much fun being able to catch up with them. And of course, you guys all know Amanda's energy is really great. We had a great time that night talking about a lot of things. Now, Lad, I so appreciate you taking bold so many times. You kept me in a job for a long time. I did write the original bold, the bold experience. All of the bold laws came from the way I lived my life and statements that I said to myself over and over again that I wanted to share with many people. Now, the new bold, for the last 4 years, the bold that has been out, I did not write. I don't want to take credit for something I did not do. Yet the basis of bold and the bold that I wrote had a lot about mindset, because see, 90% of your success is going to be mindset. And it's always just baffled me why so many people want to know, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh, let's go take the listing class. Oh, let's go take the buyer class. Oh, let's go take the lead generation class. And those are all necessary. Yet very few people want to take a mindset class, which 90% is their success. You know, people talk about Tony, who is my husband, Tony DeCello, great guy. I'm married to a cool guy for sure. And when we talk, he said, you sold so many more homes than I did. And yet people don't ask you questions. They ask me questions. And I said, that's because you talk about what to do. And I talk about how to think. What they don't collate is your thinking is the only thing that drives what you do. And so here's Tony selling 140, 150 homes a year. Myself, a buyer's agent, a part-time buyer's agent, and 2 assistants are selling over 350 homes a year. And yet, what's the difference? And Tony said, it's mindset. And as the mindset, and the more we dated, the more we were together, in fact, he wasn't even selling 100 homes when I met him. He is a proponent of this book as he's read through it, because he knows, he said, you take the skill and couple it with the mindset, you got a winning combination. Well, Manda knew that, and that's why she reached out and said, would you help by coming to the market center and speaking with all of you? And I said, of course I would. I love to add value to agents. In fact, at 7 a.m. every morning, my phone goes off and says, what will you do to add value to people? At 7 p.m. it goes off and it says, what did you do to add value to people? Well, you guys are helping me to be able to check that off based on the fact that I'm here to just pour value into you. Everything I say is going to come from the experiences of an agent who, I got to tell you, I had buyers I wanted to drop off and say, find your own way home. I mean, I had sellers I wanted to rip up the contract and say, no more, I can't do it anymore. I don't know if you have those kind of days in real estate. I mean, I would go from the heights of glory to the depths of depression, all in about 5 minutes sometimes. Yet it was the mindset that I knew I had to work on every single day, and still do. So, Lad, thank you for having me here. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I know you're a great leader in your own right. I thank Manda for asking me and giving me this opportunity. Brittany, Carly, all of you guys, you all work together as a great team to make things happen. And I really want to commend each and every one of you. I can see many of you on the screen. I mean, just the fact that you're here to learn about mindset. Like I said, most people won't come to a mindset class. So turn to your neighbor and say, we've got this covered. You guys are on the right track, is what I'm saying. So just out of curiosity, how many of you would like to have something different in your life?
Raise your hand if you want something different in your life.
Okay. Some of you wouldn't raise your hand no matter what I say. I get that. Yet many people, my research that I did for the book, and the reason that I wrote this book, I actually have to thank all of you, because the people that took bold over and over again kept reaching out saying, when are you going to write a book? When are you going to write a book? Well, I couldn't write the bold book because what I wrote at Keller Williams belongs to Keller Williams. They have the intellectual rights, so to speak, to that material. So all of this is new research that I've done. Some of it is still, from other places, the research I did before, but it's all research based. And here's what it said in one part: 95% of all the people out there, the entire world, 95% want something different in their life. Now, here's the shocking news. 5% out of the 95, 5% will actually implement and do something about it. And that's when I realized that we are literally addicted to learning. We're addicted to gathering knowledge, and we are allergic to implementation. And we kind of push it away sometimes because we hear things, we attend the class, and then we take all our notes and we file them or we put them somewhere else and we go on about our busy life. Because let's face it, in real estate, you're busy. You got lots to do, not to mention taking care of kids and family and everything else that has to be done. And there the notes sit, and the implementation dies a slow death. Whereas when you take the class and I'm going to give you a great system to use that I call it ACT, A-C-T. A means I'm going to take action on this point. C means I need to change something I'm doing around this point. And T means I'm going to go train other people about this point because they need it as much as I do. And so those are some of the reasons I continue to train. I speak to myself as much as I speak to all of you, because I too want better. I too want different. I do want improved, because the better I get, the more I can help other people. The more I make, the more I can give to help other people. And to me, it is in the order of who I am being is what I can do. And what I do presents me with what I can have. And what I have gives me the opportunity to give. Now, in this book, excuse me, when you order the book today, you get a free chapter. The chapter's on energy. And excuse me, the energy chapter will give you the 4 energies of success. Those 4 energies, by implementing them into your life, will bring you more success than ever. But excuse me. If you could please just let me know. I'm going to text somebody right now to say, please bring me some water. So
if you were here in person, we would have water, Starbucks, everything for you. Sorry, I can't bring it to you.
Well, I have some folks right here that if they're looking at their checks, they will see that I need water, because I'm not going to make it through this coughing all the time. That is so distracting. Please,
If you have to get up and get water, we have some other stuff we can do. So we'll take the lead from you.
Well, I'm sure they'll bring it in. I've got to tell you, I am so excited that you gave me grace. See, I told you they would do it. They're right there, Johnny on the spot. Thank you, Kate. Okay, that sounds much better. Oh my goodness. What you guys had to put up with that, I so apologize. Right now, though, you've got this mental dialogue going in on your head. And especially with me needing water and coughing, that mental dialogue must have been just going crazy. And you may be saying, what mental dialogue? And I'm saying, the mental dialogue you just heard right now. See, we all have mental dialogue going on. And we cannot stop our brain from thinking the way we've taught it to think. Now, let me remind you, you've taught your brain to think the way that it is. The level of your achievement is the level that you have trained your brain to think, to act, and to respond to other people. So if we just want to do more and have more, then we've got to train our brain a different way of thinking. And it can be done because neuroscience says nerve cells that fire together, wire together, which means every thought you've ever had, if you have it more than once, well, it's starting to fire and wire, much like just crossing the grass, right? If I walk the same trail over and over and over again along the grass, what happens? The grass goes away. Pretty soon there could even be a rut into the dirt. Well, that's your brain. The more you think it, the more you have this trail going from one neuron to another neuron. And that axon that it travels along just continues to wear down to where you can't think any other way unless you're intentional. Now, the greatest part is that neuroscience tells us nerve cells that no longer wire together, nerve cells that no longer fire together, wire together, which means you can change the way you think. So that mental dialogue you have going on is your habitual way of thinking. And it's keeping you from becoming more. And that's why I wrote the book. It's a roadmap, a step-by-step guide through all the different things that you get to train your brain on. From the story that you have right now in your life to a new story, leaving a legacy that you're very, very proud of. And I want you to write this down. You can't get to better until you get to different. You can't get to better until you get to different. I'll say it one last time. You can't get to better until you get to different. What does that mean? It means that if you keep doing the same thing you're always doing, you're going to keep getting the same results. So what will you do different after this call today? What will you do different in your life? One thing I know for certain, to have your life be better, to make more money, to have greater relationships, you're going to have to enter through the gateway of different. That's what it is about becoming more. And you already know how to do this. After all, as a baby, you were held, then you crawled, then you walked, then you could run. You already know what it's like to train your brain to be better. You've trained your brain to be different, yet there comes a time in our life where we just kind of stop and think we've arrived, right? Well, we've never arrived. We're designed to become better. We're designed to become more. We're designed to grow. Now, I talk with a lot of realtors, day in and day out. I love real estate and I love realtors. I got to tell you, you work hard for the commissions you make. And I know there's people out there that they don't think we're worth the commissions we charge. I'm here to tell you, I'm not one of them. I know how hard you work to get a property under contract. I know how hard you work to get it to the closing table. My question is, are you telling people what you're doing, what you've done, how much they mean to you? Are you telling them what could happen if things go awry? Are you telling them, hey, once it's under contract, that's where my real work begins? Because see, if the new buyer doesn't get back to the lender in time, your home may be postponed for 2 weeks on closing. Now, I don't have anything to do with the lender. I'm here to tell you, I'll be watching the lender for you. Is that something that's a little different than what you're doing now? Don't ever hang up the phone without telling them, here's what will happen next. Because when you do that, they trust you. And trust is something that if they don't trust you and like you, they're not going to do business with you. And they for darn sure aren't going to send you referrals. Well, I hear about how the market is shifting and, oh, the interest rates went up and everybody is freezing. And I'm going, really? We sold houses when interest rates were 21%. Interest rates are great right now, and they will go up. So why not buy now when you know what the interest rates will be? You can always refinance when the interest rates go down. We forget the future and selling the future. We're so stuck right now in what's happening in our lives. And I go, what's happening? It's just a season. I mean, if winter comes, I wear different clothes than in the summertime. Right now, by the way, Texas is on it's going to have 97 days. I think yesterday was the 97th day of it being over 100 degrees or something crazy like that. By mega camp, I hear though next week it's supposed to drop down to about 98, 97, maybe 99, but it'll be under 100, right?
Right.
It's been as high as 114 degrees here. Now, in the wintertime, you can put a lot of clothes on. In the summertime, you can only take so many off, right? That's why we have swimming pools and different things like that. What I'm getting to is this is just a season you're going through. What are you going to change to go through this season? It's not bad or good unless you say it is. Because see, this little thing in the back of your brain called the reticular activating system is your genie in a bottle. It is your Google search engine. What you tell it to go look for, it will look for. Because something happens, you literally look and you make a judgment about it, because we're judging machines. Our brains are always judging. I like this, I don't like that. As I speak, you're going to be saying, oh, that's good, that's bad, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, that sounds good. We're judging machines. You make up a story, and then lo and behold, this little thing, reticular activating system, that actually has more neurons, which means you think more from your reticular activating system than you do in any other part of your brain, goes to work to make sure your story is correct. Because after all, it wants to take the easiest way, and buying into your story is the way the brain takes the easy way. So the first thing I got to ask you is what's the story about the market? It's your story. It's not my story. My story is different. Or maybe it's the same. To me, it's just a season. What are we going to do to get through this season? And what are we going to do differently to get through this season? Because if we don't look at it as a season, we're just resisting change. And when you resist change, you're in for a problem. The market is shifting every day. The question is, do you know how many homes are on the market every single day? It was easy for me to go into a listing and say, what's your plan B if your home doesn't sell? And they go, oh, the market's so hot, it's going to sell. Well, I got to tell you, there were 112 homes that went off the market that didn't sell. So those 112 didn't have the guarantee their home would sell. It will sell if you price it right, according to the market. I don't make the market, I just interpret the market. And the interpretation is telling me that if we do not price this home correctly, we're going to have problems. You know, the main thing is your brain, unless you tell it differently, it's going to just continue to think it shouldn't be this way. And anytime we say should, shouldn't, I should have done this, I should have done that, we're just shoulding all over ourselves. And that is SHOULD, right? So don't have a shouldy life. Get that word out of your vocabulary. Say, I could do this, I could do that. The market could be different. It's not different. It's something we deal with. Let's not become frozen, paralyzed in fear, because after all, there's nothing to be frightened about unless it's our own thinking. That's what frightens me, is to get hung up in our own thinking, our negative thinking. In this market, you can still become more, do more, have more, and even give more than you ever have. And this book will help you. Now, this book came about, as I told you earlier, because of the people that took bold and kept texting me saying, you changed my life. I didn't change their life. I'm not that good. I created the environment and gave the words for them to change their life. They had to make the decision to change. It was all their decision. And every choice you make is either going to catapult you forward or catapult you backwards. You've heard of Blockbuster, Radio Shack, maybe Sears. They're all out of business. That's the only thing they have in common. Other than they chose to reject being different. Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix and said, no, 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 we don't want to do business that way. See, they didn't look at the consumer to see how the consumer's needs were changing. They were so stuck in their own way. So I ask realtors over and over again, are you so stuck in your own way that you're not willing to go out and see what other people are doing? Amazon, they send out 20 emails a day, it seems like, yet I don't opt out. How many emails are you sending to your people? Shoot, they'll even text me from time to time. Rustic Cuffs, great organization, gives a lot of money to single parents, buys homes for them. Love Jill Donovan for doing that, the owner of the company. They send me texts all the time. Are you doing that? People will opt out if they don't want them. Yet are you even asking them if they want them? Oh, I don't want to bother people. Well, they don't mind bothering me. And yet I still don't opt out. Yet if you told me you wanted a beautiful bracelet, I'd say go to Rustic Cuff. Why? Because they're top of mind. What are you doing to be top of mind? And all I'm talking about is learning from the mistakes we make. Learning from the way we've done business, putting it in and catapulting to a new way of doing business. And this is a model in the book. In fact, this book is full of models. It starts with the becoming more model. Yet in the first chapter about different, I have an adaptive learning model that I want to share with you, because this adaptive learning model is how I did my career. And when people texted me saying, when are you going to write a book? I would go back and say, I didn't change your life. You changed your own life. Thank you for asking me about a book. Someday, maybe. And then one night somebody texted me. I thanked them for their kind words. And I looked down at the book I was reading, and it said, if not us, who? And if not now, when? It was a quote of John F. Kennedy. And I thought, okay, I got it. And with that, I started writing a book. I've done years of research. I've studied tens of thousands of brain scans. I have done so many things. So Nicole, can we get up that adaptive learning model so they can see pretty much how my life was lived? See, I would learn something. I would implement something. I would fail. And oh, I failed a lot. In fact, the most successful people fail a lot. It's the people that are afraid of failure that really never reach success. Failure is just part of the journey. And as we fail, the big thing is, do we stop there or do we make corrections and learn a new way? And once we learn a new way, we implement it, then we fail, then we make corrections. And that's how our life literally gets better. So in this market shift, learn what's happening. How many homes are on the market? How many homes have sold? How many homes are going off the market? And use that to your advantage. Find out what your consumer truly desires from a realtor. And then be honest with them if you can give it or not. Because see, Buckminster Fuller has a quote that I just love. And he says, you never change things by fighting existing reality. To change, you must build a new story that makes the existing story obsolete. So that's where I came up with the idea of how do we help change people's story? Being over MAPS coaching, which when I took it over, shoot, the CEO and president of the company would not even use MAPS. They had their own coaching company. And it was a consulting company charging so much per hour. I revamped the whole thing. I mean, I started from scratch, rebuilding, doing things, teaching the coaches, hiring coaches, went from one coach to over 300. I think there were 357 when I left, having 57 bold coaches and over 80 group coaches. It was fun. It was a new story. And they continue to write the story. So I've got to ask you, what's your story? Because see, do you realize you're the creator, the character, the crusader, and the champion of your own story? Are you the main character of your own story? Have you picked up the pen and become the creator? Now, for those of you of faith, I'm not saying God doesn't have a hand in your story. Please don't take that incorrectly. Yet you make the choices, and every choice you make is a new chapter that you're writing. Are you designing your own story, the way you lived your life, or have you given the pen to somebody else? Because if they're writing your story, what kind of a story are they writing for you? It's probably one that's going to serve them and not serve you. A true person that wants to add value to your life will find out your story and help you get it. They'll help you obtain the story that you desire, not the one they want for you. So are you helping your clients by asking them what they desire, where they desire to go, how soon they have to be there, and then helping them obtain those? Because see, too many people in today's world, especially in real estate, they play the victim role of the story. And every story has a victim, a villain, a hero, and some stories have a coach and a mentor. Yet if you're the villain, oh, the market is bad, or if they're telling other people that, yet a victim definitely believes the market is bad. The villain may even pounce on other realtors by putting them down in front of clients. Yet a hero says, hey, I will overpower this market. I will absolutely become the best I can be in this market. I will overcome the challenges of this market. And some will go on to get a coach and a mentor to help them. See, when you tell stories of overcoming, you are the hero of your life. So are you intentionally creating your story every single day? Or do you just get up and take what life gives to you? I don't know. Only you can answer that. You may think it's too late, yet think of Tom Brady, who started playing football in 9th grade. In Texas, football is a religion, not a sport. Let me tell you, kids start playing when they're like 3 or 4 years old. He didn't start till 9th grade. So I don't care if you're brand new to real estate. Many of you know the story. I couldn't afford a babysitter. I put my kids in a little red wagon and went door to door. And that first year sold 104 homes. You know, nobody told me you couldn't sell over 100 homes your first year. So if somebody has told you you can't sell a lot of homes your first year, debunk that idea. They're full of it. You can do whatever you design your brain to help you do. What are you designing it to do? Sarah up in Denton, the team leader, she told me about how she had sold 41 homes her first year. I said, how'd you do it? She said, I did an open house every single day for 6 days straight. So I got to tell you, do you have ants in your brain? And by ants, I mean automatic negative thoughts. Are your thoughts building cages that you so comfortably sit in? Because those bars on the cage are your thoughts, and the cage itself is your comfort zone. Are you willing to get outside your comfort zone? Because a fact that you don't even want to hear is that everything you desire is outside your comfort zone. See, you've got uphill goals with downhill habits. And we just need to train our brain to have the habitual way of thinking, of doing, of acting into what we desire. Now, you may say, well, I've got a great attitude. It's so positive, Dianna. Well, attitude's different than mindset. Attitude lives in your conscious mind, and mindset lives in your subconscious mind. So, what is your mindset? Well, when you order the book, you get the mindset assessment free of charge. Now, after October 31st, when the book comes out, you won't get that. You will not be able, you'll have to pay for it. So we're giving it free, clear up until October 31st. This is where you go online, and by answering a question and saying all that applies, I don't know what's happening with the screen there, but you can even just show me talking to you if you want. It's going to tell you, and only you get the results. You don't have to have somebody else look at it unless you want to show it. It will tell you how much of your mindset is fixed and how much is growth. And you may think you have a great growth mindset. The growth mindset, I've got to tell you, it's not because you go to class that you have a growth mindset. Fixed mindset people go to classes. The difference is the growth mindset implements, the fixed mindset takes the class and doesn't do anything with the class. A fixed mindset believes you can only get so good. A growth mindset knows that you can put in the effort to be the best that you can be. Now, I'm not talking about attitude that says I can do anything I desire to do. You know what? I can't be the center for a women's basketball team. I'm too short. I'm too old. I mean, that'd be crazy to say, I think I can. I think I can't. No, I'm talking about the things that you are able to do, you can do with a great attitude. Yet more importantly, you've got to have a mindset and the attitude together, because your attitude, your conscious mind sets the goal. Your mindset and your unconscious mind has to be in alignment for you to get the goal, because one is the goal setter and one is the goal getter, right? So what is happening there for you to do that? And the one thing here is I want you to understand from my heart, I want you to hear this correctly, that my heart goes out for you to take a stand for you to become the very best that you can be. I want you to become the very, very best that you can be. You deserve that to yourself. You owe it to yourself. Maybe your energy is such because your thoughts are energy that you believe you can't do it. Well, get rid of that energy, because your energy goes before your business card is handed out. Your energy precedes you. And I want you to know that you are the one that determines that energy based upon your thoughts. Now, you can do whatever you decide to do. I know I'm watching the time and they want to have Q&A, and there's so much I want to share with you. I am going to go ahead and share, though, mindsets, because see, there's 150 mindsets out there in the world, according to Google. Out of the 150, I went, what is it? What is it that I can absolutely say to people? on which mindsets they have got to put into practice. Well, out of 150, you don't want to see 150 positive mindsets and 150 negative mindsets. You only want a few to work on, and you only need a few. So I started interviewing top people. I started interviewing millionaires and multimillionaires, and I started looking for what mindset they had. Well, they had growth mindsets, most of them. There were a few that had fixed. They had an abundant mindset, not scarcity. And I think that's where a lot of realtors are today. A lot of people in the world, they have anxiety and fear, and some of them going into depression. And that scarcity mindset is not helping them. What about gratitude versus entitlement? I don't know about you, but I'm finding a lot of people in the world have an entitlement mindset. Let's get back into gratitude. And I love the way that you started this out, Lad, about gratitude. And if you want to, I don't know if Nicole can do this or if you're screen sharing with us, I want her to put up those mindsets so you can see the 7 mindsets that I said would liberate you and the 7 that I say limit you. Now, I think it's important that you look at these, because which ones do you have? You don't know. It's in your unconscious mind. I've had so many people, we did the assessment and we sent it out to a lot of people to test it, to make certain it worked. And I'm not a neuroscientist. I am not a clinical psychologist and all of that. These are the ones I chose. So have some fun with it. And I had people say, oh, this isn't me. And I said, well, ask your family tonight what they think. And they came back to me and said, my family said it was spot on. And I went, well, here's the greatest part. I help you see how you can change from scarcity to abundant, doubt to confidence, entitlement to gratitude, negative to positive, hubris to humility, judgmental to curiosity, just by doing 5 to maybe 7 things, little things every day. And you don't want to take them all on at once. You just want to find one that you want to improve, and then look at those 5 steps. Implement those into your daily routine, and you will find your unconscious mind starts training your brain to go in the direction of a positive, liberating mindset. Okay, so I'm going to take those down for a minute and just talk with you from the bottom of my heart. I want you to take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. That's important in today's world, especially. And that's the main reason for the book. To pour into people, to tell them things I can't say one-on-one. Yet together, you and I will take that journey together. I even talk about the journey you're going to go through and how using priority switch will enable you to stop procrastination, to stop doing the things that you do not desire to do anymore. Little things, little tweaks that you can make in your life. I do know from looking at brain scans that a brain that is in gratitude is more creative, it's more lit up all over, it has intuition, curiosity, creativity, it has positivity. Those areas of the brain are all lit up. And here's a brain scan of someone on gratitude. Now, it's not just one person, it was 30 people they took in, and they had 30 people write down all the things they were grateful for and waited 30 minutes and then did brain scans. Now, what shows up, I could tell you about all the different parts of the brain. You don't really want to know all that. You don't need to know about it. Yet the yellow are the parts that are lit up, and those parts are intuitive, creative, positive, let's move forward, take action, find the good. Then they took those same people and they had them write down what ifs. What if I lost my job? What if something happened to me? What if I had a disease? What if I was in a car wreck? What if my dog died? I mean, terrible things. And when they did the brain scan, well, it was pretty dark. It was pretty dim. That brain scan only had worry, anxiety, and fear lit up. No creativity, no intuition. Ladies and gentlemen, in this book, step by step, it takes you through a journey. And that journey you're on right now. And it's a progression journey. And you're either moving up or you're going down. I don't know. You get to decide based upon the choices that you make. And you're going to make them today. Will you look at the market as a season you're going through and discover the different things that you can do to absolutely become the best that you can be? Will you take the step-by-step things that I give you in this book and give it to others? Have your family even do a book club on it, because let me tell you, when we get better, our families get better. When our families get better, our community gets better. When our community gets better, the whole world can change. And I am starting a Becoming More movement, where I encourage everyone to become more than they are right now. Because as we grow, everything grows. And your business will not grow until you do. In fact, it grows to the extent that you do. You want your business to be better, you become better. You want your bank account to grow, you grow. And it's much like a plant. You water it, you fertilize it. Right now, some of you may be thinking you're being fertilized because of the way the market's treating you and life is treating you. I know I've had my share of fertilization. Yet we become stronger. The plant grows bigger. And what happens? It has to be repotted into a bigger pot. See, you grow into opportunity. You do not go into opportunity. And I don't care how good you are as a gardener, you will never force a plant to grow. You can only nourish it. So please nourish yourself. More importantly, find the right people to help nourish yourself. This book has lots of research. It's not just my thoughts. It's people that I've learned from. Research of Harvard and Stanford. Many top neuroscientists, top clinical psychologists, top consultants, top business people. They helped me write this book. And quite frankly, all of you have helped me as well, because of your encouragement, because of knowing what you go through, and knowing each and every day that you get up and face another day of looking for business. You're unemployed every single day you get up, just like me. Every day I've got to find new employers, and so do you. We're all in the same boat together. So I'll take a couple of questions. I've saved 10 minutes for Q&A, which is 2 or 3, depending on who has questions and how long I take to answer them. So who wants to go first?
All right, we gotta ask some questions based on that. I got 2 pages of notes. I don't wanna ask the questions myself. I don't wanna monopolize your time.
Okay, now I didn't hear you quite. It kind of muffled there, sorry.
You guys have the ear and the access to one of the most powerful women in the history of business right here. Ask your question. I think they're scared of you.
No, are you kidding? I've made all the mistakes. I can talk about my mistakes. I've made a lot of them. And I want to, I'm glad this is recorded. I'm going to play that one little tidbit to my husband that said I'm one of the most powerful, or whatever you said about that being. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna do that for him. That'll be so fun. Look what other people think of me, honey.
So I'll take it off the question. So, and maybe I'm asking this because I've just spent 2 weeks with like my whole family from all over the country. When somebody has a fixed mindset, how, or have you seen, what is the best way, or maybe the most impactful way to help someone with a fixed mindset see that they might have a fixed mindset?
Well, I really love that question because the fixed mindset, first of all, you recognize it. They're the ones that use a lot of numbers. They use a lot of facts like, well, I was able to do this, or you'll hear them speak with their kids like, oh, you got an A in math. Oh, that's so good. I knew you were always good in math. You're brilliant at math. Meaning you're good in math, but you're probably not good in other things. And it's because of your brilliance as to why you're good. A growth mindset talks about effort. Oh my gosh, you got an A in math? Oh, that is so great. It's because of the effort that you put forward. And if you put forward that much effort, you're going to be a success. And so I think the big thing is when you're around them, talk about the effort that has made you successful. I spoke to you about putting my kids in a little red wagon, going door to door. That took a lot of effort, especially to get those kids to want to stay in that little red wagon and go door to door. Now we'd go to the park in between and have our lunch. Yet that's a lot for a kid. Neither one of my kids will buy red wagons for their own kids. Let me tell you, I think they're still in, they said, Mom, I think we may need therapy over that little red wagon. I don't know. They tease me all the time. Yeah.
They turned out pretty well though.
Yeah, they've done very well for themselves. One is
Yeah.
a holistic doctor and the other is a great real estate coach and they've both done tremendously well. Thank you, lad, for that. I'm very proud of my kids. Here's one thing though, that with fixed mindsets, I think asking people, what are you going to implement from what you've learned? What is it that you're going to do different? Oh my goodness, you can do that with the effort that you're willing to put forward. I believe in you. Sometimes they have to borrow your belief in them to even get their own. But I would speak about effort. I would speak about implementation. I would speak about how anyone can do certain tasks if they put their mind to it. And let them have a little bit of an argument with you or a defensiveness about, well, I'm not smart enough to do that. Oh, neuroscience says you trained your brain, you can train it differently. Just by saying things like that, we're opening up their mind. And when a mind is stretched, it will never go back to its original size. That is stated. The reason I started learning about the brain, quite frankly, is my brother and sister both had brain tumors and I wanted to help them. My brother learned how to walk and talk 4 different times in his life. And a lot of this book is about what did he do to overcome, not about health. It's about overcoming anything in your life and becoming more. Because see, both of them did not choose different. You can choose different. They didn't have an opportunity to choose different. Different found them, yet they still were hell-bent on becoming more. And I know you can be too. So I hope that helps you, lad. I think that the book gives you 5 different things that you can do for yourself, and you can twist those around. I know how brilliant you are, and I know that you'll help other people with their fixed mindset based on that. Okay, do we have another question?
Go ahead, Jen.
So I'm Jennifer Cox. I'm the chair of the wellness committee for our ALC, and our focus for the year is exactly what you've stated, is taking care of the physical, the emotional, and the mental. We've been really great on the emotional piece. We started adding recipes for the physical piece. What would you suggest in terms of, additional things that we can be doing in the emotional and mental capacity to help our entire market center and everybody that we come in touch with?
That's a great question. And the reason it's a great question is because you are honoring other people. We're here to serve other folks, not have them so much serve us, right? Now, the leaders, if you're not a servant, don't become a leader, right? People think the leader, they're over everything. They are. They're responsible, which means they've got to serve others. So I want to commend you on being a great leader to where you desire to serve others. I would start a book club. I know that sounds like a selfish self-promotion, but I got to tell you, until we mentally learn how to train our brains, nothing's going to happen.
We have a fantastic book club that's led by one of our wellness committee members who are sitting behind me. And we're so fortunate to have those servant leaders a part of it as well. Any other suggestions on, we started a book on services for mental health, for suicide, for alcohol or whatever, so that our agents who might be struggling have additional resources that they can access. Do you have any other suggestions that we might be able to implement?
Yes, one of the things, thank you for letting me know that, because see, during COVID, and I did like 76 Zooms in 40 days. I called Keller Williams and I said, I want to help. I was in Israel when all of the pandemic hit. I was wondering if I was going to get home. It was flights were being canceled right and left. I mean, there was one flight out of Israel and everybody was clamoring to get on it, right? Well, I got home and I said, I don't know if you realize people are going to go into learned helplessness the way the brain works. And when they're in learned helplessness, I mean, here's what happens. Something happens. Oh my gosh, we're so shocked. Second part, it's not going to last long. No big deal. It's no big deal. It won't last long. Then we got locked down and we said, this still won't last long. We'll be okay. But it did last. And then we went into this phase of I deserve. I deserve to binge out on Netflix. I deserve to have more alcoholic drinks just to get through the day. That's why alcohol went up. I mean, did you see the sales and how much it went up? Drug consumption went up just to help people get through the anxiety that they were going through. Because see, they had drifted into that third stage. The fourth stage is learned helplessness. And you don't have to have alcohol or drugs to go into that stage. The learned helplessness is where you don't want to work as hard as you did. You don't want to go back to work. You'd rather work from home. You'd rather do all these things. And it's because the brain was naturally going into the state that it's supposed to go into if you let it go there. So what you're doing is you're aiding a lot of people. And I really appreciate the fact that you're doing that. Aiding people out of learned helplessness. Start doing lead generation classes together, not classes where they learn, classes where they either social media together, they pick up the phone together, they make videos to send out an email, they do something. Because we can sit around and talk, and that's why I say we're addicted to learning and allergic to implementation. So the best thing you can do for all of the agents, and I love that you're doing the book club on that. And I trust that you'll do a book club on my book eventually.
We'll do
I
that.
want you to also get them into some kind of get together, a small group that lead generates every single day. And I don't care how it's done. Just don't pass out cards. People are going to throw them away anyway. You're just wasting money.
Yeah.
Gather their card, get their card, but whether it be email, social media, phone calls, door knocking, I don't care what it is, but get into some kind of activity, because the activity is going to help your brain a lot more than any of those other things. And then train your brain to desire to do those things and help others. I hope that helped you. And I just really want to honor you again for desiring to serve others and to help them and to be the head of that physical, emotional, and mental committee that is so needed in today's world. So, Lad, thank you so much. I'd like to hear a couple of ahas. I know we're a couple of minutes over yet. Could I hear just one or two ahas to know that I did add value today?
Tons of value. Let's get an aha or two.
The change must build a new story that makes the old story obsolete.
Love that. Thank you.
Implementation is key.
I like when Lad asked the question, how do you know, what's a way you can identify quickly whether or not someone has learned helplessness or not, and you use the words, picking up on whether or not someone's using words about someone's efforts or someone's going based on facts. So I wrote effort versus facts for a growth mindset.
I love that. Thank you for listening so carefully. Thank you all for this wonderful opportunity. Thank Manda when she gets back. I'll text her as well, because I know she's on that flight. We just,
So one question, Diana,
okay.
I would love to know, how to get the book, where to get the book, and, can we pre-order and then get that assessment?
Yes,
All right.
free. The only way you'll get the assessment free is to pre-order. So I would order it now. You'll also get 100 affirmations, because you know I'm big on affirmations, and that's going to help train your brain. And you're also going to get the free chapter, my favorite chapter, not the first chapter. It's the chapter on energy. And so I'm very excited about it. And once you order the book, you are joining the Becoming More movement. And the more we help others become more, the better the world's going to be. The more we become more, the better the world's going to be. So we're all here to help each other. So thank you for asking that. There is the QR code that hopefully you can see, unless you're like me and all the people are on the one side and the QR code is half not showing, so to speak. October 31st is Halloween. And I'm just going to tell you, this could be quite a treat for your brain to start reading this book. And it can be real scary if we're not training our brain to become more. So I'm going to end with that. I love you all. Real estate is definitely a love of my life, and realtors especially.
Thank you, Diana.
Given my time today to you, and because I care about you and I know how hard you work. So keep it up, keep helping people, always giving to them, and you'll become the greatest success the world has ever seen. You either grow within or go without. So just keep growing. See ya.
Thanks, Diana. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. Wow, so that's pretty amazing to get an hour of Dianna Kokoszka. I realized we probably wouldn't get to everything. Thank you guys for being patient. There's not a lot of opportunities that you'll get to speak to someone like her. I've been in this company around, 10 years, and I've learned a ton from her, so it was cool for me. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of it. I gotta thank for the flyer. I got 2 pages of notes there. So let's hit a couple things fairly quickly, then we'll get on it here. So just a quick follow-up on Bolt. So there's a QR code, say the date, the next, we got a calendar coming up, but August 21st is gonna be our next Bolt 100 call day. So we'll do what we did before. If you're not familiar with that, we've got a tailgate package that's been graciously donated by Platinum Audio Video. So the flat screen TV and a custom cabinet. If you've seen my Facebook page, I had to do a custom cabinet in my house because there was no place to do a TV. You press the button, a TV comes out. It's pretty cool. Can't wait for football season for that. What you do is you get people to call in to you and you put on your Facebook, hey, we're giving this away, call it enter. And then your client can be entered to win. And it's a way for you to generate conversations and get people to call you. Go to the next slide. And then we will have bold coming soon, so we'll talk about that. Mortgage Minute, Innovate Coastal Mortgage, we got Matt and Brett here. You guys got the flyer, we got lunch and learn. Anything else you want to say to the people who have waited this long?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna take too much time. Thursday at 12, we're gonna do a lunch and learn on the mortgage process. So what happens to a lead from lead to closing? Every hand that touches, everything that's going on. It's not a pitch on products, it's a pitch on the process. So we're just gonna go through that. Food will be provided. We look forward to having you all here.
So that's this Thursday, August 10th, 12:01 food provided. Thank you very much.
Do we already know what food is scheduled?
Yeah, so.
Don't judge at one point. All right, you guys are getting, send out an awesome email, and you know, give the email from owners. There's one email that kind of shows you everything. This is all in there. Anything you want to highlight there, you mentioned?
Yeah, Wednesday, so tomorrow, Chris is doing slice and dice your database, so definitely take the time, work with your database, get to know it. Get ready with it. Thursday, Jody, well, they'll have their lunch and learn, and then Friday, there's no classes, but of course, do your daily 10. So the 10 conversations, 10 contacts, 10 handwritten notes, and yeah.
All right, cool. Next one, August training calendar. Again, it's in your, it's in the email. We have, let's see, next week is ALC the week after. I'm sorry, May camp?
Yeah.
The May camp is this week, so actually we will not have well voting that day because we'll all be out. So a lot of our leadership team will be in Austin, Texas next week. If you're thinking about going to May camp and you haven't got a ticket yet, if you want to go, not too late, probably figure out something. I would recommend it. Next slide, please. Jody or Ed. Jody, anything you want to hit up on?
Right, so I just want to mention along the same lines, I'm doing my lunch learn on the 17th. And we're gonna pick up where we left off on new forms. So there are a few new forms that we never had before. I want to spend some time going through.
Yeah, that would be a good one to hit. New forms with Jody. We're gonna have to use these forms when?
They came out July 1st and you have 90 days, but when you go to DocuSign, that's what you'll see.
They're already in there.
Yeah, so I'll, it's gonna be a casual deal, but open for questions, bring your questions, bring your issues with the new forms and we'll try to deal with them.
Thank you. All right, next slide. Next book club, Face the Line, Todd Dirkson's doing that, is that right? Todd, you doing that?
Yeah, so we're finishing up Fierce Conversations on Thursday. This week, we'll take a week off, and then on the 24th, I believe, the following Thursday, we'll kick off with Chase the Line.
I have read that book. I read many Mark Patterson books. Phenomenal book. It'll fire you up. Congrats to our July cappers. Brandon Eaton, Kurt Meeks, Harley Meeks, Megan Fogel, Holly Nieberline, Foster Hill, Sophie Hughes, Ian Terry Boylan, Spencer Preston, Daniel Elkins, Brian Fleer, Christy Hill, Caitlin Jackson, Sarah Myers, Brace Laker.
You're excited. I'm excited.
Nice work. Deborah Cardamone, Lynn Glasgow, Lynn Gold, Paul Holland, and Stephanie Pelton, and Desiree Sealing. That's all I have. Hopefully we'll be able to pay our bills in August, a lot of cappers. That means if you guys go to cappers, that means they are done paying their $2 for the year. They've earned it. We believe everybody should be treated equally in that. Everybody pays their fair share. That's how our whole company is built. Happy anniversary. We've got Adam Nicholas, Sean the government with us for 8 years. Lisa Page, holy cow, 7 years. Robbie Adams, Aaliyah Burton, live, Adam, what else we got? Kenny Little downtown just flies. So thank you guys very much. Happy anniversary. Next Spirit Day will be August 22nd. This one is, there's a potluck dish if you want to bring a potluck and eat, and then you get to come dressed in whatever your favorite hero.
Yeah, your favorite area, your favorite, yeah.
Whatever you want, right? So you've got many choices there.
You're going for 2023?
That's awesome.
All right, is Allison is not here, and then Marispec.
I'm here.
All right, come on up.
Okay, I'll be brief. I know everybody's very go. Most of you guys know us. We're a home inspection company. We've been in business here in the local area for over 21 years. And many of you partner with us, but I thought I'd just go off of Dianna a little bit and ask what your mental dialogue is when you hear inspection. Yeah, right? Oh, no. Are you gonna kill the deal? This is terrible. But we really believe in a win-win for you guys and for us. With your clients, we take a lot of time with the client on site. If they want to attend towards the end of the inspection, we really believe in explaining things to them and helping them understand that all homes have issues, but most of them are fixable and most of them aren't that big of a deal. So we like to be your partner in making that contract go to closing. We're there for you before, during, and after the inspection. We offer a lot of ancillary services so that you can get a lot of things done in one appointment. One of our big services that we added this year was HVAC inspections as an addition to the home inspection, which covers a lot of things that people are concerned about because here, especially in this coastal environment, HVACs have a lot of issues. And it's really been a big thing for us, and we highly recommend that you consider adding that at your next home inspection. But we've got convenient online scheduling available 24/7, 365, and you can call or text as well for an appointment. If you don't have any questions, I know you guys are running late. I did make some homemade brownies last night during left. I know people back there might already.
I only ate a half.
So my plate's already like,
Yeah.
I want to give a quick plug as someone who uses AmeriFlex quite often. One of the things I love best about them is their speed. They are very quick to get the report back to my client and I, which is critical with our due diligence timing, so we can move forward. The second item I love about them is I always have my client coming at the end, and all of their providers are great about going through and talking through what's found. Again, almost everything is fixable, and they're able to actually explain it, not just what scary written words on a report. They explain it in human terms to them and make it not so scary. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you for that endorsement, Brittany. I so appreciate it. But if you have any questions, I'm Elizabeth. I'll be standing back there at the moment.
Cool, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thinking ALC chair, critical announcements before next meeting.
I think the big one is for wellness, save the date on the 25th of this month. Okay, so we have an event plan. It'll be indoors, it's in Wilmington, it's a day of kindness, so please schedule time, 1 o'clock on the 25th. More information.
And if you've seen our t-shirts, kindness is contagious. They're still available. We can do additional orders. It's KW Wellness on the front. $5 of each goes to KW Cares. So
Cool, very cool. All right, last announcement. So this month, because of Mega Camp and other scheduling, we switched our sales meetings from the first and third Tuesday to the second and the fourth, I believe is what we're on. They're gonna switch back in September. So the next meeting's gonna be August 22nd. And then September, we're gonna go back to the first and the third. So that's all I have. Have a great day.
Have you do your thing?
All right.